Hello, crochet friends. Welcome back. We're working on our love dishcloth. We ended last time with 28. We did our chain one, and we want to turn our work. We're on the back of our work. Oops, sorry. I think I hit it with my work. And we are on the back side. We're starting row 29 today. We have one more row of the actual dishcloth itself, and then the main structure of it, and then we're going to work on a border. Okay, so if you want to change your color for your border, that's something to think about. You could do that. You could change it up that way. But you know, choices. I know it's always so tricky, isn't it? So let's just finish up here, and we're going to start. This is 29. It is the back of our work, but we single crochet because this is the border on the top to match the border on the bottom. All right. So let's go through here. We want a single crochet. So we enter, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. So this is still 29 stitches, no change in your stitch count. So we're going to do 29 single crochets going across here and finishing up this main flat portion of our work. So when we go around on the border, I am just doing a plain single crochet border. You can change this up. Please don't feel that you have to have just a plain old plain-o. Maybe you want to do some pretty little scallops along the edges, or I don't know, maybe little pom-poms or anything. I mean, get creative, have fun with that. I will demonstrate just a plain single crochet around. You could do the plain single crochet around and then just add your border on top of that too, if you want to do something different. I don't know if you're changing colors. If you are changing colors, that's a great time to do it and add a little bit of pop to your dishcloth here, a little pizzazz. So, you know, you do you. Make it your own, be creative and have fun with it. So I'm just laying out how I did this one. And I know y'all are very creative, so just throw out my little ideas and you probably have 10 million more. So just do yours. So I'm getting near the end of 29, and again 29 stitches, so that's super, no change there at all, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do here, let me get to this last one. I am going to chain 1 and I'm going to turn my work, and then I'm going to go along here on working the outside now. This is the border, so this is not part of the structure itself. This is going to be the border, and what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet across here, and when we get to the corner we're going to place 3 single crochets so it can get us around the corner. All right, and then we're going to work down the sides. So let's get going here. Still 29 single crochets, even though it is our border, but you'll notice that on the top and the bottom, oops, get my whole stitch, talking away here, on the top and the bottom of our dishcloth, it is regular stitches, right? So we've got nice single crochets here on the bottom. We've got our original foundation chain, so we can see exactly where our 29 stitches are. But on the sides, it's a little different, or how it looks, right, compared to our top and bottom. And you'll see that when we get there. And what we will be doing is we're going to place stitches just where we can find spots, but we want to try to make them even, and that can be a little tricky. Sometimes it can take some trial and error. You might put a few stitches on and then say, oh, I do not like how that looks, and you might have to pull it out. So that's going to be that's choice. As you get going along with your crochet and you've made many projects, it will be easier to know where to place your stitches. You'll feel far more confident, but at first sometimes that's an overwhelming thing, so I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. It can always be taken out. Okay, so if you look at it and you're going along and you're like, oh, I've got 5 single crochets all on top of each other there, and then they're spread out on the next part, like this isn't right. So you just pull it out, try again. Okay, it's okay. It's not something to stress about. I want you to just take your time with it And that's why I keep talking to you about consistent stitches, so that you can see that they're all the same length. That it's an important thing. So just trying to help you out with that. So here we are at the end, and I'm going to place 3 single crochets here in this last one. So here's 1 and 2 and 3, all in the same spot. And what that does, you see how it kind of got you going around the edge. So shift your work, and now we're on the end here. And we're going to find places that we want to put a single crochet that's not going to pull our work. So here's one. That's what I'm going to do there. And if you notice that as you're going along, sometimes you go a little further into your work and it looks a little bit better. See how that looked nice in there? There's 2. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to put 3. Then I'm going to go in that circle again there, that little circle looking part there. 5. And then I'm going to just keep doing this all the way down. They seem to, if you look at them, they're looking pretty good, same size, aren't they? And that is your goal, okay? So just keep going along. Take your time. Pause me if you need to. But just going along, trying to get even stitches. And then when you're going up the other side, you're going to do the same thing. But it's going to be backwards looking from this one. So where you're picking your spots aren't going to look the same, because it's kind of reverse, right? So keep that in mind when you get to the other side. I have this nice little spot, but it's just not working as much on this one. So I'm just gonna see what I can do. I might have to take that out. I might have to try again. So when you look at your work, make sure it's not scrunched up tight and bunchy, that it's sitting nicely, okay? So I did that in the little circle there, and then I'm trying to make this like a stitch on the side here. That's what I'm doing there. And I'm going along, just seeing what I can do all the way down here. We're getting there, right? You can hear me kind of grabbing at my work, trying to hold it still here. There we are. Because it's different. It's a different feel than just popping it onto a stitch. You got this, though. I know you can do this. I just don't want anybody to feel overwhelmed. I'm trying to work through with you on this side and show you that it can be done. You're just gonna have to take your time. All right, but this makes, as you can see, a nice foundation. So if you wanted to do a fancy border, right, so now you have a certain number of stitches on your work, and if you make it even the same amount on the other side, you can do a fancier border on here and it'll look just fine. Okay, so I'm getting close to the corner. Are you getting close to your corner? Right here, I'm going to make this my last stitch, and it's going to get my 3 single crochets every corner. 1 and 2 and 3. That way we get around the corner, they're not bunched up, and they look nice and neat. Now we're at the bottom. This was your foundation chain from the very beginning. And if you work in just a little bit, you can get it so it looks like you've got nice stitches here. So you're going along. I'm hoping you can see where I'm entering. See that? It's looking good, right? Like a nice area for a stitch. Much easier than the sides, okay? So take your time. Go across your foundation chain with your single crochets until you get to the end. Here we go. Okay, when you get at the end there, remember you need 3 in the corner. This should be your tail from the very beginning. So if you want to tuck it in there with your 3 single crochets and going up the side, you won't have to tuck that tail in. Yay! That's always nice, isn't it? So now we're going back up the other side. So we're looking for our stitches to try to make them as even as we can with the other side of our work, right? So just take your time, go along, look for spots that work to get your stitches in there, okay? And I will meet you toward the end here. We're going to just take it as you go, because see how it's different. This is what I was trying to explain on the other side. It's different looking than where you began the last time for the other row, and sometimes I end up going in a little too far. See, like to me that looks too far in and it looks like a hole, doesn't it? So I need to try to find the spot that I originally had on the other side. Remember, I was trying to make a stitch here, and I'm trying to hold my tail in too because I want to tuck in that tail. I don't want to have to do it again separate. There we go. And then I had like a little circular part. And I think that this is it. But in reverse, it always looks different. You know what I'm trying to say? I hope that makes sense. But I'm just trying to make it work. All right, so we're looking for our stitches. We're going back up. This should be our last side. So when we get back up there, we are going to be joining up our work. If you want to add a loop onto your dishcloth, some people like a loop to hang it, that would be the time to do that. All you gotta do is a little chain, right? A little chain stitch, however long you want it, and then attach it on there to, the other side. Pretty easy and straightforward if you want to do a loop. I keep thinking I have a spot, but I don't know. I'm going backwards up here and it's a little tricky. How are you doing with yours? You doing okay? Just take your time. I'm going to stop and look at mine for a second. It's looking pretty similar. Okay, pretty similar in their sizes. Not bad. I can take that. All right. I think the borders can be so tricky, but they make it look so nice too. I feel like it finishes it off nicely, makes your edges look smooth. And then as you're using your dishcloths, once you've blocked it and everything and you're using them over and over, I think the border really helps keep its shape, keep the dishcloth looking healthier, longer maybe. That's what I mean, healthier. So I don't know. That's my opinion on it. I do like a border. Sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I won't do one, or if I just trying to make something easier too. Because it does, look how much time it adds on. I was trying to find spots and everything. I know it does take a little time, but it makes your work look a lot better. All right, but we're doing great. We're plowing along here. See, we're getting near the end. Got my stuff all twisted up here. But we are getting near the end of this, so I think we're doing okay. All right. And then we're going to do our 3 at the end because we want to be able to get around our corners. I will remember to put that video on there for the block soaking for you, okay? Just so you have that and you can reference it. And it's a good way to finish up your work and make it look great. All right, here we are. We made it. We plowed through. Congratulations. We looked for our stitches and we found them. Okay, here's the end. So I think I'm going to place them in here. Let's see how this looks. 1 and 2 and 3. Let me see. Yep, that looks good. And now we want to join. So what I'm going to do is pull this up and find me a pair of scissors. Okay, found me a pair of scissors. I'm going to take this off of here. And you need a yarn needle. I mean, I use a yarn needle. In case you don't need the one, but there we go. Had a few here, so I was just trying to find a good one. I'm going to pull this out. And thread my needle. Now we're going to sew this in. So I'm going to skip over that stitch right there because I want it to go around the corner. So I want it to look good, but I want to just go in the back loop of this next stitch here and pull this together. See how it pulls it in nice and it makes your corner sit better. It's a little smoother looking, I think, and then I will knot it in on the back and close it all off together. But let's just take a look at everything. So yeah, I think I might redo this stitch because it's not as tight as I would like it. See how it's kind of long looking, like we were talking about our stitches. So I would think I'm going to redo that one. That's just me because I want it to look shorter like the rest and smooth it off. So I think I'm going to work on that. But other than that, let's just make sure that we look the same. Our stitches are good around the sides. So if you want to do another border, you can always do that. Go around it one more time with something fancy, or that's all up to you. But this is the Love Dishcloth. I think it looks so cute. The letters pop out nice. I love this. I hope you do also. I enjoy being on this journey with you. I always love it. I think it's so fun to crochet together. But I will see you next time. Thank you and have a joyful day.